Why do we stay in love that breaks us? Why do we beg to be chosen by people who leave us bleeding in silence? And why, after everything, do we still hope they'll change? This is where most people get stuck, because this isn't about them anymore. This is about the little version of you, the child inside, who once believed that being abandoned meant being unlovable. And until we meet that child again, until we sit beside them in the dark, we will keep searching for someone to rescue them, instead of becoming the one who finally does. This is part 3 of our journey, the inner child, the abandonment wound, and why we stay. Let's go in. The origin of the wound. You weren't born afraid of love. You were born wired for connection. You reached out with tiny hands, wide eyes, and an open heart, trusting that someone would come. And if they didn't, you didn't blame them. You blamed yourself. A child's mind can't comprehend that a caregiver is emotionally unavailable. So they internalize the pain. I must be too much. I must not be enough. If I were better, maybe they wouldn't leave. This is the moment the abandonment wound is born, not always through physical absence, but through emotional absence, through unpredictability, through rejection wrapped in silence, through love that had to be earned. And here's the tragedy. When a child learns that love is conditional, they grow into adults who accept emotional starvation and call it devotion. The inner child, the one still waiting. Your inner child doesn't live in the past. They live inside your present patterns. They're the reason you chase people who don't see you. They're the reason you tolerate love that feels unsafe. They're the reason you feel like you need to fix, prove, or earn affection. Because somewhere inside you, that child is still waiting for someone to show up and say, "You're enough just as you are. You don't have to perform to be loved. I won't leave when things get hard." But the truth is, you've been chasing that moment through people who can't give it. You're not in love with them. You're in love with what you hoped they would heal. You're in love with the idea that if you can just get this one person to stay, it will finally undo the ache you've carried since childhood. But no one else can heal the part of you they didn't break. That's your work now. Why we stay, the psychology of trauma bonds. So, why do we stay? Why do we hold on even when it hurts? The answer is trauma bonding. This is not about weakness. It's not about low standards. It's about neurochemical addiction to inconsistency and validation. Here's what happens. When they pull away, your body panics. When they come back, your body floods with relief. Over time, this creates a psychological loop, a cycle of craving, rejection, and reward. You start to believe their love is scarce, and that makes it feel more valuable. You're not attached to the person. You're attached to the emotional roller coaster, because it mirrors what you learned early on, that love must be earned through suffering. This is why even red flags feel like home, because the home you came from wasn't emotionally safe. So your body learned to find safety in danger, in unpredictability, in trying harder. The emotional cost of self-abandonment. Here's the hard truth. Every time you betray your needs to stay in a relationship, you abandon the child and you all over again. You send the message, you don't matter. Your pain is too much. It's better to be loved by them than loved by me. And that kind of abandonment, it cuts deeper than anything they ever did. Because now, you're not just being hurt by them. You're being hurt by you. This is what most people don't realize. We stay not because we don't see the damage, but because we fear the grief of finally leaving. We fear facing the part of us that hoped for so long and never got what we needed. But grief is not your enemy. Grief is how you reclaim yourself. It's the sacred undoing, the breaking that lets the truth come through. How to begin healing the abandonment wound. So, how do we break the spell? How do we stop chasing what never loved us back? We turn inward. We meet the child. We listen. We validate. We love. Start here. 1. Speak to your inner child as you would to someone you'd die to protect. Say things you never heard like, "You are safe now. It was never your fault. You were always enough. I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere." Do this daily. out loud, in the mirror, on paper, in your heart. 2. Stop confusing love with familiarity. Remind yourself, just because it feels like home doesn't mean it's safe. Familiarity is not the same as fulfillment. 3. Recognize your triggers as messages, not truths. That anxiety when they don't text back, it's your inner child panicking, not because you're unsafe now, but because you were once unsafe then. Learn to soothe, not react. 4. Practice radical self-loyalty. Before asking, do they love me? Ask, am I loving me by staying here? Choose relationships where your nervous system can breathe, where love is consistent, not conditional, where peace isn't followed by punishment. 5. Let go of the fantasy. You're not grieving a person, you're grieving a dream, a hope, a rescue that never came. Let it burn, let it break, and from those ashes, build yourself back. Closing, becoming the safe place you always needed. The inner child doesn't want perfection. They want presence. They want safety. They want you. And when you stop waiting for others to choose you, you'll realize you were never too much. You were just asking the wrong person to love you. Now is the time to stop abandoning yourself for the illusion of love. Become the place where your soul can rest. Become the voice that says, you don't have to earn this. You don't have to chase this. You're home now. This is how we heal. This is how we stop staying where we don't belong. This is how we begin again. This was part 3 of our series, When Love Feels Unsafe, Attachment Trauma Disguised as Chemistry. In part 4, we'll bring everything together and show you how to stop reenacting the trauma of your past, so you can finally choose healing over intensity. Breaking the cycle, choosing healing over intensity, is next. Make sure to subscribe and tell me in the comments, what did your inner child need to hear that they never did?